Hi, I'm Matt. Today I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of a cute little indie game from Weather Factory called The Book of Hours. It's made by the same company who had done the Cultist Simulator a while back. It is a card-based RPG where it's centered around collecting hundreds of books. And I do mean hundreds of books, as well as neat little curiosities and spells and tangential memories and all sorts of neat little gadgets and doodads that help you either write history or rewrite history or become eternity. Spoiling it lightly, but the company emphasizes the idea of how do you learn in a game rather than the conventional, oh, you hit level 5, time to chuck fireballs at somebody. This requires you to collaborate with other people to get their assistance, collect a bunch of books. And it's not just collecting the books. You actually have to study them and learn the lessons from the books and then apply them to the memories that you have and put them to study and commit them to a skill. So it's the whole thing did back in college. And much like in college, you take some notes. So I have played this game, put a few hours into this game. You will get rough about, if you know what you're doing, probably about 100 hours to a playthrough, and that's just for one ending. I think there's like 30 something endings. The gameplay loop is roughly the same once you learn how to unlock a book and study it and commit it to memory. That is the gameplay loop. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that this episode, but we will at least talk about some of the mechanics today. So it is, like I said, a card-based RPG. You'll have a lot of cards that have certain aspects where round peg goes in the round hole, square peg goes in the square hole, or you cannot have a triangle shaped block to go into this slot or whatever. There's going to be a lot of mix and match the slots into the correct pattern. So let me just go into the new game and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna pause the game and I'm gonna start reading this out to you. So it's gonna be a lot like an audiobook where I'm gonna be reading it to you. If you just want to put this on the second window or in the background and just let me read it to you, you wouldn't be really missing much in terms of me just clicking around and moving the map and all that. First and foremost, the storytelling game. So like this very first snippet right here in front of me said that it's Braincrag in March 7th, 1936. There had been no librarian at the Hush House since the fire. 7 years now. Suitable candidates are very difficult to find, but perhaps we found one in you. Take care on your journey. The seas around Braincrag are treacherous. So we find ourselves at St. Brendan's Cove, here at the sea's end and the world begins, or maybe that's the other way around. After the storm, the fishermen of Braincrag village find oddities washed up here. Now the art style is done in a very older style oil painting, so unfortunately we don't have a lot to interact with here. Like Braincrag village is locked to us. Braincrag village is the sanctuary in the storm. I'll need help to climb the cliffs in the dark, and the locals are suspicious of outsiders more than ever since the Restoration and the new king. Over here to the left, we got the tidal flats. There's a tidal island at low tide. You could probably walk here, though you probably shouldn't. So, unfortunately, we don't have a lot to do here except for over here, where there's 3.3 seconds on it, and it says the cold come first. Thunder growling, waves pounding, and the audio is certainly helping for that. We'll just let the game run. And finally me, sprawled up on the sodden sand of the beach, there is something in my hand. So we got our first cards, like I was talking about. But first, let's take a look down here where it says powers, expertise, and forms. Powers are fundamental categories of power recognized by scholars of the invisible arts. Find these in soul cards, skills, memories, items, and use them to succeed in studying and crafting challenges. Expertises are abilities, skills, and personal resources. Forms are natures of visible and invisible things. Use these to understand what you might be able to do with them. In our powers, we have the power of heart, is the relentless beat that protects the skin of the world we understand. The heart is the principle that continues and preserves. We have three of them. We have two: sky, wind, storm, echo, and song, the intricacies of mathematics and the principles of flight. Laws touches lighter than we sometimes think. It has matters of balance, harmony, and necessity. And finally, of the powers category, we have winter. It is the principle of silence, of endings, and of those things that we're not quite dead. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of occultic swaps that we're going to be getting into. This might be the first of it. Of the expertise, we have an element of the soul. The human soul is comprised of 9 elements, and this is one. Most other things have simpler souls. These soul cards can be used once a day for the kind of things you do with your soul. This usually means talking to people or crafting. And we also have a malady, something that snared or sickened that soul. Soul cards can be malady tainted when you're exposed to dangerous influences, sometimes when you fail an attack. Maladies cannot be exhausted, but your soul is altered and weakened. There can be serious consequences if they go untreated. In the forms, we have 2 counts of soap. In peril of dissolution, intervene quickly, but not hastily. We have a journal. I began before this book, but I'll end when I do. It's readable. There are worse things to put in your eyes than this. It's a thing. The gentleman that makes things its servant. The petty man is servant to things. By Master Zen. And of memory. Something remembered might be something understood. Memories can be used to help with crafting and to upgrade skills. Memories which disappear each dawn except for persistent ones. So let's see what we got. We have a half-drowned health. Shivers racked my soaked body. Your health is failing. Find somewhere to warm up. We have about 6 minutes to do something about it. I have the game paused, so we have all the time in the world. It has the aspect of the heart, the winter. It's the element of the soul. It's the one maladied and soaked. So if you notice, those aspects were outlined here. If I were to take this and put it in the elements of the soul, it deducts those from here. So these cards here are the combination of the sum of all of the cards in there. We can take a look. The next one is a memory of a storm. These are storms so great enough to shake the moon from the sky and one thought from one's skull. And finally, we have a drowned book. The one possession I kept from the shipwreck. It must be important to me. The aspect below tells you more about how and where you can use them. March over them to learn more. It is the same down here. If I were to hit collect, it will automatically send it to its respective section. Up here is our inventory. Here is where the time controller is. We can make it go faster, slower, pause, options, a brief summary of the last thing we interacted with. We have our memories and lessons down here. Elements of the soul will be down here. Skills and languages, we don't have any of those yet, and neither do we have any sundries. So the only thing we can do is remember, what do I have left to work with? If I click on this, it's going to ask you for an element of the soul, a memory, or soaked. We have if I put my health in there, it says I'm soaked, I'm freezing, but as far as I can tell, I'm still alive. Still have some health. Don't lose it, you'll need it if you want to be alive. What else do you have? A single remaining possession is in your belongings slot at the top. If I try to put the memory in there, it says that I can't get my thoughts straight, but there's something in my hand, again pushing to me to see the item on the top. If I were to put that in there, it says perhaps this book can help me put the pieces together. And it wants what's left. The storm didn't take everything. It wants an element of the soul or a memory. It says to go in this slot, an object must match one of these. The book is in bad shape, and I'm not much better. We both need a place where warm drives safe soon. If I put the storm in there, it says there was a storm. It smacked the ship like an egg. But I see this book at the sea to me, and then the sea brought me here to Braincrag. It allows me to start this procedure. 5 seconds is estimated for how long it would take for me to remember what happened. And Braincrag is where I wanted to go, but it's hard to remember why. What else did I lose in this storm? So I got the book back. I got a memory of a core. It is exuberance, instinct, and rhythm. Do those mean something to me? I got a memory of fact. It's a part of us with dreams. Are dreams important to me? And memory of shape. It's eloquence and also understanding. The door that opens both ways. Is my soul open to knowledge? So it wants me to put a memory element of the soul or soul. Is my fact strong? What remains of me dreams? This is the coast where Braincrag Isle lies. I've seen it in my dreams, night after night. I know there's no way I can cross the isle in these seas. I need to find shelter for the night. Whoops, I didn't mean to do. So, I got a memory of a wisp. Wisp is the name, the memory, the part which remains. It is important to me that things endure. Got a memory of Arab, pride, compassion, hate, and fear. Do those passions burn bright inside me? We have metal, is the capacity for meaningful choice. Did I prove my metal? We have past, is sight, perception, inspiration, all of the glorious gift. Is my soul a bright soul? I think I'm gonna go West. West is the soul's memory, the true name stressed on the cornerstone, what remains after the rest has passed. Choose a strong West in the past where you thought voices were fallen silent, and the waves will wash away the others for now. There are things I still don't remember, but I do remember that there's someone in the village who will give me Sanctuary, if I can get there. Mysteries have been added to your journal, so you can begin to investigate them when you and your journal are both dry. The West has name, memory, and the part which remains. Most librarians know that books have souls. Most librarians hope for books with simple souls of West and nothing else. And we also found an old friend's address. Mr. Quill is the coffin maker of Braincrag Village. I once wrote kindly of his poetry. His home is always open to me, though he's asked me never to mention poetry in front of Mrs. Quill. I can find shelter for tonight under the roof once I've reached Braincrag Village. So we've got an introduction. Even in this remote place, one can meet new friends or make new enemies. So if I were to look at the tidal flats, Braincrag is the tidal island. At low tide you could probably work here, though you probably shouldn't. If I click on this, it's going to tell me that it's essential that I have these aspects, required at least one of these aspects, but it's forbidden to have any of these aspects. Much I was talking about square peg, square hole kind of deal. So it's going to require an assistant. The librarian lives alone, but there's no shame in seeking assistance from others. The assistant can open new rooms or help you with your studies, what if it appears when used or done. I don't have any assistance. We need an aspect of winter. West has an aspect of winter, but it won't fit because it's not. The West does not have the assistant card. Over here, once again, requires an assistant, but also cannot have the skeptical tag. So over here, we have something popping up for 9 seconds. Burncog Village must be nearby, but it's hard going. Dragging my soaked body across the soaked sand and the teeth in the wind. Which way? So I find a memory of a fear. The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is the fear of the unknown. A quote from Lovecraft. If I were to click on there, it says help. Above me, atop the cliffs, lies Burncog Village. I'll never reach it if in the storm, but I can only muster my remaining strength to find help. So I need an element of the soul that has either rose, knock, or heart, but cannot have winter. If I were to click on it, it would have told me what option it is automatically. But if we look at Fett, it has the aspect of moth. I know a man who captured moths in a bell jar. On nights like this, he would release them one by one to die in the candle. Moth is the wild and perilous principle of chaos and yearning. We have the aspect of rose, which encompasses all, 9 directions to new horizon, exploration, enlightenment, hope. And it also has the aspect of an occupant. A visitor or soul element with this aspect can be placed in a guest bed to occupy it for a while. So, if this wanted rose, knock, or heart, I can't use that because it's forbidden to have winter, and my heart has winter. West also has winter, so it has to be Fett. Deja vu. Did I dream of this beach and this wind? If I did, I might remember the path I took in that dream. Path that brought me to the light. 10 seconds will pass. I have it a little fast to speed it up a little bit. At last, the light of a hurricane lamp bobbing through the dark. It approaches, a face looms out of the night. I find a French fisherman's apprentice, or assistant, sorry. A fisherman from Burncog Village. He can help guide me up the cliff of the path if he trusts me. The aspect below tell me more about him. He is reluctant, if you recall correctly. I can't go to the title flats if somebody's reluctant. He is skeptical, so I can't go to Burncog Village if he's skeptical. He has the aspect of the moon, which secrets are soft. Night is soft as steel, and the sea speaks. It is not always wise to listen. We have, and we'll collect all that. So we can talk to him, allaying suspicion, come no closer, what is thy business? So, a name, is there someone who might vouch for me in the villages? So we have an introduction is required here, or, yeah, even in this remote place, and this right here has the introduction tab. So we'll put that over here, and be that somebody will speak for thee. Of course, since the 1930s and the Restoration, the locals have grown ever more suspicious of foreigners, but there is someone in Burncog I know. I'll take you to the cliff then. The gentleman is no longer skeptical. Use him to unlock Burncog Village. As you can see, the skeptical tag had been removed. So we can put him in there since he had the assistant tab. And then we will unlock Burncog Village. We have a lot of options here. Let's start with the bottom right. We have a walk on the moor, clamber up the long reaches of the moors behind the village, lean into the wind's fluttering fist. If I know what to look for, I might find something along the route. We don't have anything that has hurt or rose by itself. My pet is fatigued. You cannot have the fatigue tag or the malady tag, which unfortunately both of mine are. We also have a different one here. It's called Scale. Hard without, hard within. Hard to rouse, harder to subdue. What's left is the crude powers of deep within the earth. We also require knowledge, a skill. That whole section is blank. Oh, we also have an edge tag for my fear. All conquest occurs at the edge. One who dwells there is blind and cannot be wounded. Another is strong and grows stronger. We have the smithy. Denzel Smith has more work than he needs, and he rarely opens his door to strangers. You need an introduction or a mutual acquaintance marked with edge, forge, or height. Someone in a similar trade, or someone who can appear to that particular passion for sapphire and cake. I cannot use the old friend's address, and I needed an introduction, so it can't work here. The post office is locked. We have the rectory. Reverend Timothy, is a hospitable soul, but Terrace, his housekeeper, guards her employer fiercely. She doesn't want innocent theological enthusiasm getting him in trouble with the new king's men. Once again, I'll need an introduction using a lantern, knock, or sky aspect. Perhaps somebody who shares his interest in theology or poetry. If you recall correctly, you know somebody who knows poetry. We have the Sweet Bones. After the restoration of the 1930s, the new king's agents came looking for his enemies in these parts, and they weren't gentle about it. Since those days the locals are suspicious of foreigners, no one in the Sweet Bones would talk to me. Mr. Quill is locked. Mrs. Quill, the midwife, is tall and gloomy. Mr. Quill, the undertaker, is slight and wary. Why, so? In these troubled times, you both are wary of strangers. You'll need a suitably marked introduction. I have one. Mr. Quill struggles with the door. The wind almost snatches it from his hand. The storm wind plucks at you both. It requires something that is an aspect of the soul instead. We have one. An aspect of the soul, and what? His eyes widen as he sees me. Mr. Quill constructed a bed himself. I'd rather deal with the same tools he uses to shape coffin. It's not a comfortable bed, but it's dry, clean, and warm. So now something has changed. We have 29 seconds here. That after the storm approaching dawn, the stars have struggled through the storm rags of cloud, but now they retreat as the dawn approaches. And I like this little puppet string weather pattern they got going. It's pretty amusing. But we will speed it up a little bit. And they taking shelter with the quills is done. I sit up talking with Mr. and Mr. K as the wind rattles the shutters and the fire shrugs its way emberward. I'm very hungry, and Mr. K's collapse of impossibly good. Mr. K pretends to grumble about foreign cooking, and no one is convinced. I have a memory of its satisfaction. Some appetites are easier to satisfy than others. Has an aspect of a grail, hunger, lust, the drowning water. The principle of grail honors both the birth and the feast. So now, the front room, the girls put on the kettle when they see you coming down the street. I need a winter or a grail. That should be neither fatigue nor malady. Speaking of which, the malady of my health is gone, changing the winter to a nectar. It is the green wealth in the world's vein, the pulse of seasons. Long ago, some called this principle blood. Makes sense. So, I could put something wet in there. Mr. Quill, gloomy as always, kind as ever, light the kitchen fire and help me dry the book, while Mr. Quill saws away at the next trim. Both always leave marks, he opines, and she carefully tucked fragments of muslin between the damp pages. So my wrist is fatigued, which means fatigued abilities will always recover at dawn unless you find a faster means of recovery. We also have a silvery book. Is that real silver? I feel that it should be. I should remember that. So it has a mystery of wonder. As well as rare thing uncatalogued, there is nothing as safe as ignorance, or as dangerous, by Nero Wolfe. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do right now. Could try to catalog the book, but I need a challenge. There's a difficult prices that you need to match. It's a winter, but my winter is fatigued right now. So we're gonna skip ahead to when I've rested. You can watch this weather change the puppetry patterns as it turns to night. Oh, Franklin Village. This quiet Cornish fishing village has long since been in the Isle's shadow. Might have been as old as the Hush House itself. Unlike the Hush House, Franklin Village has provided sanctuary over the years of its misfits and exiles. It is out of bounds. So now that my whiskey's back, we can talk with the Quills again. I don't have a topic to speak with them, but they always have a few hours to help with a friend. Each day, the weather will come in. In this country, the sky is rarely clear. The sun goes courteously cloaked. You can make use of it, like a memory. Also got the coffin maker's assistant, a tamer of trees, a worker of wood, and a consigner of cadavers. Alliteration for the win. He's also been known to try his hand very diffidently at poetry. Make use of the coffin maker's help before dawn. Think I will take him to the Sweet Bones. I haven't come alone, Mr. Quill repeats a long string of well-worn jokes that leaves everyone groaning happily. Sounds like a bad dad joke. There are 10 seconds of dad jokes later. Eventually the other patrons unbend enough to let me buy them a pint. Let me listen to them complain about the weather. I'll find a word more welcome here next time. The memory of a solace. Peace after trouble. So now, I can put my... It requires an element of the soul that is not forbidden to be melodied. So, the Sweet Bone has been a public house in Braintree since Cromwell's time. Its history is notable, but its spirit is not. Just looking for discreet employment or for discreet assistant congregate in the snug. If I were to put my health in there, there's not much work on offer in Braintree, but I can find a sixpence worth of odd jobs. Or I can add a coin to find visitors with employment. We're gonna let that pass a little bit. As I used to say in my youth, the day is done and so am I. But I've earned my pay. So I got a sixpence. The silver coin is its least value, but silver nonetheless. It is the eccentric currency of a fallen empire. 1 penny is for fighting, 12 pence or 1 shilling, and so on. This is British, old British currency, and it is one of the things I was talking about where the law in it has to be found in fragments and put together. So here gives you an interesting little tidbit. It's using British currency, but it's the fallen empire. So if I were to put this, see, it doesn't require it to be fatigued. So if I put my fatigued wist in there, a tuppence will buy me a hearty meal and a quiet place where I can rest and gather my thoughts. If you recall here, it says wait a little on the fatigue tab, and it says fatigue abilities will always recover at dawn unless you find a faster means of recovery. Resting sounds like it would recover it. We put a tuppence in there. It's spring, and the landlady had served me a slice of a stargazing pie with the picard's head pushing cheekily through the hot crust. I don't have enough for a tuppence. Requires 2 pence. Better now. So I got a 3 pence and a penny. I can put my fat in there and do some fortune telling. Garnered enough mystique to tell fortunes for pennies. Undignified perhaps, but for the librarian of a hush house. But for times are hard. So I'm going to do that to make him a little bit more money. I'm going to put my wist in for Mr. Quill. And I'll get the coffee maker's assistant back. This man knows poetry, and a mutual acquaintance has introduced me to Reverend Timothy, the rector, to invite me for tea, to maybe even comfits. Reverend Timothy's tea goes cold while he expostulates about post-restoration politics and theorizes about pagan traditions of the miners. We got a memory of gossip, frivolous but tasty. We got a 2 pence, which puts me back to 6 pence. And we will restore my wist again. And we will grab the quills again. So Mr. Quill has Sky and Winter Assistant and Introduction aspect. The title Flats requires an assistant to Winter and to Moon. He does have 2 Winter. This should, right, because the Moon is an ore concept, which match at least one of these. So we unlocked the Quill Cross Sands. Look at across the bay a long time ago, this was a forest. Could go beach combing. Take a long walk along the ocean side. If I know what to look for, I might find something in the ocean that's forsaken. Unfortunately, much like the Moors, I need a skill. I could also, at the sea's edge, the sea never sleeps. The sea accepts offering. Discard object here, release beast, or go for its one. Throw a penny in there. Why? Why not? Dispose of a stray penny. And the waves march on, but I get a memory of an impulse. Doesn't exactly make sense, but I understand it anyway. Just in time for night, and I need to recover my souls anyway. Once again, I'll ask Mr. Quill for assistance. But I've got something I need to do. Over here, the Turbot Bridge. The Mist Cloak Bridge, every so often someone builds a bridge to the Isles. Each bridge lasts 100 years or 200, and then the sea disposes of it. This was built in the 1890s, and that makes it the newest bridge. But that doesn't mean it's new. We'll need an assistant, an aspect of the sky, or lantern, or forage. I believe he has sky aspect. I'm gonna work at those sweet bones until then. Looks like it's another cloudy day. So if I can put Mr. Quill in there, it does to unlock. The Hush House had been many things over the centuries, including in the nocturnal period of 1896 to 1929 ago. No one remembers that period fondly, but at least it meant Nocturnal Branch paid for a new bridge. I'm also going to do some fortune telling. Put my wick back in there. Put a 3 pence in there. One shilling, 12 pence for hire casual labor services. I don't quite have that. I could help with letters, correspondence and arithmetic, no school in Bancroft, but not everyone knows their letters. Like that. And we'll look at this new lodge at the gate. Cottage where the house groundskeeper lived until the fire. If I can get into it and make it habitable, I can make it as a base for reclaiming more of the house. I require 2 boards, 1 heart, and a knot, as well as aspect, and assistant. Unfortunately, Mr. Quill doesn't have this aspect, but we can solve that tomorrow with a different mechanic. I now have a shilling, 12 pence, or if you prefer, 1/20th of a pound. So, once again, I'm going to need Mr. Quill's assistance. It's sunny. The sun is not what it was, but today he is smiling. So if you were to talk to one of your assistants, Mr. Quill, Ryan's Fire, doesn't mind stopping for gossip. Add something to enhance Mr. Quill's effectiveness for the day, or just talk. Unlike some assistants, Mr. Quill can make use of wood. So we can collaborate, and if I were to add the heart, he gains these aspects. So if you recall correctly, the front gate requires 1 heart. We don't have anybody with forward or not, but we do have 1 with heart. So if I put him in there, and I'm ready to help him with my limbs, I can start, and we collaborate. I will do some fortune telling on the side, speed up the time. We'll work along the side. So now, he now has all of these aspects, including the 1 heart that we need. And with that, the Hush House is unlocked. Well, the front room of the front groundskeeper hut of the Hush House. We will have to continue asking for assistance for getting into more and more of the house, as well as my fortune telling completed. But now we got all these neat little items and beds and books and tea and coffee and bread. But we'll discuss all of that next episode, as it's already getting pretty lengthy. I would consider all of this like the way the game explains the tutorial. So it doesn't really hold your hand in terms of figuring out how to play it. It says just enough to where there's only one way to progress. So, for example, like in here, it's like if I click on the money shot, You could just blindly throw your money in there and figure out what happened, but you wouldn't understand why or how. Hopefully I cleared that up. And if you want to see more of this, an obligatory like and subscribe. And I'll continue to make this regardless because I enjoy this game. We'll see you next time.